What a spectacular day here in southern Austria. The fifth round of the Women's Grand Prix has just finished. We have 3 games ending with a winner, and 2 games ending in a draw. A fast day. Games have ended we've been here playing 4 hours, which is the fastest, shortest day so far. A lot of sharp games, a lot of twists and turns. To top it all, we have amazing weather, as you can see, and we have an amazing guest here with us, Vishy Anand, who just arrived this afternoon. Vishy, thanks so much for joining us and welcome. Before we start about the tournament, let me ask you, we're now playing in a remote area in a small castle in southern Austria. What was the strangest, most unusual, most unique place you've ever played chess in? It doesn't have to be a professional game, any game.
I have played in some holiday resorts, on a beach, things like that. But even tournaments, I think I would have to say my 107th floor of the World Trade Center in New York. That pose, we didn't play there, but that pose we put with the backdrop of the whole city, that's got to be my top one.
Your top choice. So you're more for a city backdrop than this relaxing. Are you more a city person or a out of town person?
I'm very much out of town person, and I love the venue here, and this is just spectacular. It simply happened that I was playing the World Championship in New York, so the publicity picture was there as well. But this is an amazing venue, and I think we should use it by taking some real shots with a lot of depth, a lot of nature, and the visual impact is going to be great. Perhaps we can do something on the rest day with the participants.
Well, I think there are some...
Already the Austrian outfit, I think, was a huge success.
I think it was, and also I think they have some ideas set up for the free day, so it's going to be quite a lot of interesting surprises and hopefully pleasant ones. But look, this is indeed an amazing venue, an amazing backdrop to play at and to have a Women's Grand Prix. What's your take on Women's Grand Prix so far at this event?
Well, this event has been very exciting, and what I like is, in fact, the whole Grand Prix circuit has been exciting. We have 3, and depending on the participation of 2 people here, maybe a 4th potential candidate for the 2 candidate spots, and I think it's going to be exciting till the end. We see that Mariya Muzychuk is really taking her chances and fighting well. Zhu Jiner is showing what she showed also in Cyprus. She's very aggressive, really developing fast into one of the best women players, and she handles setbacks. She comes back. So quite a dramatic Grand Prix, and that's what you can ask for.
Dare I sense that Zhu Jiner is a bit of your favorite here?
No, I'm very impressed by Mariya Muzychuk as well. If you saw the candidates that she played in, she was getting fantastic positions, but somehow just not scoring. And I thought she probably had the most undeserved bad result there. So I'm very happy that she's showing her full strength here. And come on, Koneru Hampi, what an inspiration. She's really showing that her willingness to fight for the top spot is still undiminished.
Well, Koneru Hampi, Harika Dronavali, great Indian players. We obviously have Vaishali here playing as well.
Divya. Not here, but yes,
but
a lot of them.
A lot of players. But outside of India, do you see anyone in women's chess as you're pinning your hopes to it could be a big surprise?
Big surprise is too strong. I feel that most of the players who are now at the top of the women's game, we know them already. They've been around for many years, and perhaps they need some time to develop into consistent top performers. And that again is the reason why any plan for women's chess is going to have to take the long term into account. We need to have circuits like the Grand Prix that showcase the best players, but then we need the women's World Rapid and Blitz Championships, the World Cups, the Grand Swiss, and FIDE needs to keep increasing the prize fund and providing better and better conditions. In effect, we need a pull effect. We need people, we need young girls to say, that looks like an attractive career. These girls are doing something amazing, and that's glamorous. That's nice. I want to take part, and so this pull effect is very, very important. I think these circuits and holding the best tournaments at the best venues and so on, so that the World Rapid and Blitz often happens together. Things like that are very, very big steps.
You're obviously involved deeply in this because of your role in FIDE as well. What are some of the things you've learned through organizing these women events and basically building up a new strategy about women's chess that you did not expect or didn't anticipate will be things that you will learn?
Probably nothing that I couldn't think of before. In a sense, the women's game is not very different from the men's game. It's just you need the time, you need the players to mature. But once you have big stars, household names, someone like Judith Polgar, but some new ones emerging, then that itself will draw a lot of attention to the game. And in another sense, if you compare it to other women's sports, women's tennis, women's soccer and so on, you see that there's a fairly straightforward path to growing the game. I wouldn't say I learned something that I hadn't thought of at all, but it's about execution. You chart a plan and then you steadily execute year after year and consistently do better. But I'm glad that we managed to get sponsors for all the legs of the circuit. The best women's tournaments are all sponsored, good companies, nice venues, and so on. So it's a good start. Not to say none of this has been done before, but I feel that one of the commitments this team, especially the president, starting from his first term, made was we've got to stay the course and keep working with the women's game and make it much better. And I think we've done that, though I've only joined in the second part of that. But I think the plan is going well.
But okay, that's when they increased from 4 to 6 Grand Prix, so maybe you helped in that way. But you mentioned Judith Polgar. How far off we are from getting another Judith Polgar in chess?
She was really one of a kind. I believe that most of in fact, all the participants here could play a good game, and no one is surprised if they beat a grandmaster. Many of them have done so already. But I think the consistency and even that explosive effect where Judith also got to 26 something and she was strong. She was beating good players in the open game as well and so on. But then she had this dominance, and she showed that she was able to escalate that to climb as high as number 7 in the open ranking list, and do that for so many years that she became a household name for chess. That is still some way off. But having said that, I believe this dual-pronged approach is very important. You need a thriving women's circuit where they get the attention they deserve, the opportunities, but they also need to keep competing in the open game, in open tournaments. I don't mean open tournaments, I mean tournaments where both men and women play, because that's the easiest way for them to raise their game.
And thinking about, obviously a lot of questions are being asked about why we have women-only tournaments and women-only titles. Could you explain more the relevance of women-only titles? How do they help?
Yes, you need to make it easy for them to play. And so just saying, look, you have to come and compete against the best right away, and there's nothing to start with. On the other hand, showcasing women's game allows you to enjoy that competition. We're also curious who's the best woman player. What is she capable of? What are they capable of? And see that. But again, these successes are something they can take, go back home, they get recognition for that. That again has that pull effect I mentioned. It inspires others to take to the game. Why shouldn't we use that as a stage? I always feel that these arguments are the equivalent of saying we don't need a ladder anymore. You need a ladder. You get to the first stages. Let's bring the women's game up here, incentivize them to play, and then later on, obviously, if we ever bridge it completely and maybe 3 or 4 women compete the way Judith was doing, well, then mission accomplished. But to get there, we have to make it attractive for them to stay in the game, to keep playing and so on.
Sorry, go on.
Yeah. The question of men versus women is the one thing that transcends geography and culture, because the effect, many of the challenges seem to be global. They're not restricted to this geography or this culture. They seem to be global. So I think it's important to get more and more women into the game, and I can't emphasize that enough. And that's why I think having a women's world championship, a women's circuit and so on is very, very important. But as I mentioned earlier, they should, in the off season, so to speak, they should compete against the men. That's where they get tested the most.
But we're seeing a new entry into the chess world for women in particular, but men as well, and that is for streaming. A lot of the players are choosing to opt more for streaming and coaching, but for a streaming career. We have the Botes sisters, we have Anna Crumling, we have people like that, and other many who we don't know yet, but are up and coming. What's your take on that in general, and what does that mean for chess?
It's possible you could make a case that women are good communicators. They're good listeners, they know what the audience wants, and they give it to them, and that's why they're successful in that role. Wonderful as long as the game grows. That's fantastic. And I don't see a contradiction. It's not like the women who would have played chess end up in streaming. They do both. Many of these women, the streaming, they compete as well. But the best women compete. Try to see how strong they can get, and perhaps they even do a bit of streaming on the free time, or join a couple of streams. It's not either or. You have to play a good game, and you have to do public PR for chess. You have to communicate, you have to attract people. Both tasks are equally important.
I know your wife back in the day had a huge role in helping you choose the right PR and the right PR approach. So dare I say that, in your opinion, women are better communicators and have this a better sense for the moment, and that can help chess?
That's a sweeping statement. I would just say that since you mentioned 4 or 5 women chess players who are very successful as streamers, I made the connection that perhaps they're just able to communicate well. See, one of the challenges for chess is, how do you make this game accessible to a non-chess audience? And knowing what to say, how to say it, simplifying it, not making it too easy, but not talking down. All these communication skills are very important, and it just occurred to me that might be, but I'm not willing to make a scientific statement about it.
Fair enough. And just finally, you earlier mentioned geography and culture. You are someone who travels a lot. You're going to Valencia after this, then you're going somewhere else. I'm just curious, 2 things. How many days do you spend away from home traveling? Do you know that? And secondly, how much of that travel is not connected to chess?
It's close to 6 months, as it used to be. It might be 5 now, but you get the general drift. I take some vacations, and also when I'm in India, I'm traveling a lot. And a lot of that is for my speaking engagements or other things, which are, look, everything I get is directly or indirectly connected to chess. I can't pretend it's unique, but I do. Maybe 20% of my travel is for non-chess reasons, and perhaps we include holidays a bit more.
And do you enjoy being recognized, or do you prefer sometimes that people don't recognize you at all?
I like both. I like my peace and quiet, but if somebody recognizes me, then certainly you feel a bit flattered, don't you?
Excellent. Well, thank you very much. I'm sure after this interview, many more people will recognize you. Thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate this, and we look forward to seeing you here.
Thank you.